TPT colon Chapter 1, comma, Milo, and then today's date, February 22nd, 2021. So at the top of your page, you should have TPT for the Phantom Toll Booth, colon, that's the two dots on top of each other, Chapter 1, comma, Milo. Okay, there are 3 words. We're not going to worry about note cards or anything today because I don't have them to give you. So when we get back to school, I'll just have volunteers who want to do the cards for our word wall. Okay, so number 1 is the word dejectedly. Dejectedly. D-E-J-E-C-T-E-D-L-Y. I'll spell it again. D-E-J-E-C-T-E-D-L-Y. Remember, there are no capital letters. J and Y both should be going below the line. They should be taking up half of the top line and going down into the bottom line. Dejectedly is an adverb. Remember, adverbs describe verbs. So adverbs, the dejectedly, will describe how something was done. And it means to do something sadly. So dejectedly, D-E-J-E-C-T-E-D-L-Y is an adverb, which means it describes how something is done. It describes a verb, and it means to do something sadly. So if you are dejectedly walking down the street, dejectedly is describing how you're walking. It means you're sadly walking down the street. Maybe you just found out bad news or something. Yes, Kingston. You're still muted. Oh, now I think you froze a little. Kingston, what's your question?
Have you been hearing background noise when I unmute?
No. Mm-mm. No.
Oh, because my mom has been doing stuff with boxes.
Oh, no, I haven't heard anything. So your microphone must be really good where it only picks up what's right there. So very good. Okay. Is everybody finished writing dejectedly? Because I'm going to have to erase it to do number 2. So just let me know if you need a little more time. If I don't hear anything, then I'll go ahead and move on to the next one. Make sure that you're listening for these words as I read. Okay. Number 2 is the word toll booth. T-O-L-L-B-O-O-T-H. Toll booth. Now, toll booth is a compound word. The 2 small words. We have the word toll, which is something that you pay. And then we have booth, which is just like a little box where people sit. So a toll booth, knowing what the word toll and the word booth means a place. We can most likely think it means a place where somebody collects a toll. The official, well, it is a noun, it's a thing, it's a place. And the official definition is a booth at the entrance to a road where a toll is collected. So toll booth, T-O-L-L-B-O-O-T-H, is a noun. It's kind of a thing and a place at the same time. And it's a booth at the entrance to a road where a toll is collected. So that means you have to pay to be able to drive on the road. So the toll booth is where they collect that money so that you can get on the road. If you've ever been to the beach on like the Gulf Coast, like Destin or anything, you have to pay a toll before you can go over that long bridge to actually get to the beach. So you pull up to these little booths and then your parents have to like put money. They either give it to a person or they throw it into like a little thing and then the arm lifts so that you can drive through. That is a toll booth. Yes, Mason?
There are a lot of tolls in Florida.
There are. I've also encountered a lot of toll booths up north, too. Okay, does anybody need more time? Okay, hurry. I'll give you about another minute. Okay. And now the last word, number 3. Number 3 is the word turnpike. Turnpike. T-U-R-N-P-I-K-E. Turnpike. T-U-R-N-P-I-K-E. This is another compound word. We have turn and we have pike. Now a pike is a type of roadway. Turn means you turn. So we would maybe think, okay, turnpike. That means a roadway that might turn. Well, here's the official definition. It is a noun. It's a thing, kind of a thing and a place at the same time. Mostly a thing, because it is a high speed highway. So a turnpike, T-U-R-N-P-I-K-E, is a noun. And it's a high-speed highway. It's very similar to an interstate, but the difference is, I think, all turnpikes you have to pay. So you have to pay a toll to go onto a turnpike. So the beginning of a turnpike would have a toll booth. But other than that, they're pretty much just like interstates. Like, where you can go really fast. You can't have red lights on them. You have to take exits to get on and off of them. They're very similar. The only difference, I'm pretty sure, is that you have to pay a toll to drive on a turnpike. Yes, Kingston. Don't forget to unmute.
So when you had said really fast, so there's no speed limit on so is there a speed limit on a highway?
Yes, there is. It's just faster than like on a regular road because there's no red lights or anything that you have to worry about stopping at.
Oh.
Zari, don't forget to mute yourself, Kingston. Zari, what's your question?
Will we need to pick this away, or will we need it again?
You can put it away. So when you're done, go ahead and put, if you're writing on paper, please, excuse me, put it in your return to school so that you don't lose it. If you're using your vocab notebook, of course, just close your vocab notebook and put it away. You won't need it again until tomorrow, whether we're at school or back here, hopefully back at school. And is everybody ready? Okay. So we're starting The Phantom Toll Booth by Norton Juster, illustrated by Jules Pfeiffer. Chapter 1, Milo. There was once a boy named Milo who didn't know what to do with himself. Not just sometimes, but always. When he was in school, he longed to be out, and when he was out, he longed to be in. On the way, he thought about coming home, and coming home, he thought about going. Wherever he was, he wished he were somewhere else, and when he got there, he wondered why he bothered. Nothing really interested him, least of all the things that should have. It seems to me that almost everything is a waste of time, he remarked one day as he walked dejectedly home from school. I can't see the point in learning to solve useless problems, or subtracting turnips from turnips, or knowing where Ethiopia is, or how to spell February. And since no one bothered to explain otherwise, he regarded the process of seeking knowledge as the greatest waste of time of all. And here he is, walking dejectedly to and from school. As he and his unhappy thoughts hurried along, for while he was never anxious to be where he was going, he liked to get there as quickly as possible. It seemed a great wonder that the world, which was so large, could sometimes feel so small and empty. And worst of all, he continued sadly, there's nothing for me to do, nowhere I'd care to go, and hardly anything worth seeing. He punctuated this last thought with such a deep sigh that a house sparrow singing nearby stopped and rushed home to be with his family. Without stopping or looking up, Milo dashed past the buildings and busy shops that lined the street, and in a few minutes reached home, dashed through the lobby, hopped onto the elevator, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and off again, opened the apartment door, rushed into his room, flopped dejectedly onto a chair, and grumbled softly, another long afternoon. He looked glumly at all the things he owned, the books that were too much trouble to read, the tools he'd never learned to use, the small electric automobile he hadn't driven in months. Or was it years? And the hundreds of other games and toys and bats and balls and bits and pieces scattered around him. And then, to one side of the room, just next to the phonograph, he noticed something he had certainly never seen before. Who could possibly have left such an enormous package, and such a strange one? For while it was not quite square, it was definitely not round. And for its size, it was larger than almost any other big package of smaller dimension that he'd ever seen. Attached to one side was a bright blue envelope which said simply, "For Milo, who has plenty of time." Of course, if you've ever gotten a surprise package, you can imagine how puzzled and excited Milo was. And if you've never gotten one, pay close attention because someday you might. I don't think it's my birthday, he puzzled. And Christmas must be months away. And I haven't been outstandingly good, or even good at all. He had to admit that, even to himself. Most probably I won't like it anyway. But since I don't know where it came from, I can't possibly send it back. He thought about it for quite a while and then opened the envelope, but just to be polite. One genuine turnpike toll booth, it stated, and then it went on. Easily assembled at home and for use by those who have never traveled in the lands beyond. Beyond what? Thought Milo as he continued to read. This package contains the following items. 1 genuine turnpike toll booth to be erected according to directions. 3 precautionary signs to be used in a precautionary fashion. Assorted coins for use in paying tolls. 1 map, up to date and carefully drawn by master cartographers, depicting natural and man-made features. One book of rules and traffic regulations which may not be bent or broken. And in smaller letters at the bottom it concluded, results are not guaranteed, but if not perfectly satisfied, your wasted time will be refunded. Following the instructions, which told him to cut here, lift there, and fold back all around, he soon had the toll booth unpacked and set up on its stand. He fitted the windows in place and attached the roof, which extended out on both sides, and fastened on the coin box. It was very much like the toll booths he'd seen many times on family trips, except, of course, it was much smaller and purple. So here's a picture of the set-up toll booth. What a strange present, he thought to himself. The least they could have done was to send a highway with it, for it's terribly impractical without one. But since at the time there was nothing else he wanted to play with, he set up the 3 signs. Slow down, approaching toll booth. Please have your fare ready. Have your destination in mind. And slowly unfolded the map. As the announcement stated, it was a beautiful map in many colors, showing principal roads, rivers, and seas, towns and cities, mountains and valleys, intersections and detours, and sites of outstanding interest, both beautiful and historic. The only trouble was that Milo had never heard of any of the places it indicated, and even the names sounded most peculiar. I don't think there really is such a country, he concluded after studying it carefully. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. And he closed his eyes and poked a finger at the map. Dictionopolis, read Milo slowly when he saw what his finger had chosen. Oh well, I might as well go there as anywhere. He walked across the room and dusted the car off carefully. Then, taking the map and rule book with him, he hopped in and, for lack of anything better to do, drove slowly up to the toll booth. As he deposited his coin and rolled past, he remarked wistfully, I do hope this is an interesting game. Otherwise, the afternoon will be so terribly dull. And there's Milo in his little car, driving up to the toll booth. Okay. So that's it for chapter 1. Right now, what I want you to do is if you have your book, of course, keep it out because you can use it to answer the questions. But remember, you're trying to use it as little as possible. And let's see. The girls who are usually at home, go ahead and get out your reading journals and open to the first clean page. So we haven't used these since Wonder. So go ahead and get those out. Those of you who are usually at school, just get out another sheet of clean paper. This will be the last sheet of clean paper you'll need today. And then when you get back to school, we will either staple it or you'll copy it into your into your reading journal. But for now, go ahead and get it out and write the same thing, the same heading as what you did in your vocab. I'll put it back up so that you can see, because we're going to start our journal. So at the top of your next clean page, you're going to write TPT, Chapter 1, Milo, and then today's date. So we're going back to our reading journals. We have not used them since Wonder. The girls at home, you should have these, but of course, those of you that are usually at school, you don't. So you'll just use a separate sheet of paper and then either copy it into your reading journal later or we'll staple it. We'll figure out what works better. Once everybody has this, I have to take you to another part of my house where the questions are hanging up. So is everybody done writing the title? You do not have to write this because we already wrote that. Yes, Kingston. Don't forget to unmute.
Can I go ahead and go get a sheet of paper?
Yes, go quickly. So, number 1 says, how would you describe Milo? Compare and contrast yourself with him. So first of all, you're using adjectives to describe Milo. What is he like? So think about what I read and describe Milo in your own words. Then compare and contrast yourself. Remember, compare means say how you're like Milo. Contrast means say how you're different from Milo. Number 2, what does Milo think is the biggest waste of time? So he said that, so remember back, what did he think was the biggest waste of time? Do you agree or disagree, and why? So if you agree that whatever he thinks is the biggest waste of time is the biggest waste of time, tell me why you think that. If you disagree, if you think something else is a bigger waste of time, or you think whatever he thinks is not a waste of time at all, tell me why. Number 3, list everything Milo finds in his mysterious package. So the book said what he found. Do your best to list what he found in that package. What came in that package, that big weird box that he found in his room. Then number 4, this is the question that you'll need your map for. So either have the printed out one, use the one in your book, or make sure that you have something where you can pull it up. Because number 4 says, Milo chose Dictionopolis as his destination. Based on the map, where would you choose to go first and why? So hold on one second and I'll let you ask questions, but remember what you're going to do. It's just like when we did Wonder. You're going to have 15 minutes and you are going to answer whatever questions. You do not have to answer them in order. If you have a really good answer for number 3, you can start with 3. Remember, you write the number and the question, skip one line, write in complete sentences. You need at least 2 complete sentences, but remember a lot of questions will require more than that. Use text evidence as when you need to, but make sure that that's not the only part of your answer. Text evidence should not be your whole answer. It should just be how you explain why you answered the way you did. And then let's see, in 15 minutes, everybody should be able to get at least 1.5 questions answered. Some will be able to get more, but everybody should have at least 1 question fully answered and working on the second question.